sun than she usually is. But it's just the heat and the humidity. It's tough. And it wasn't – Saturday was like 88.
Saturday was as bad as Sunday.
Sunday and then Monday.
Monday.
Yeah. So, long story short, she's okay. It was dramatic.
Yeah.
And I have a flair for the dramatic.
Sure.
Come from it very honestly. But obviously we can joke about because of a very good outcome. So thank goodness Nana's okay.
She's the official Nana.
She is the official Nana. She's the official Nana. And she's. I told her we need you. We need you, Nana, for a great many reasons. Yeah.
What is
Nana saying now that she wants? We asked if she wanted 911, but she didn't say yes.
She said yes. Yeah.
So then it was called.
All that matters is that she's okay.
That's right.
That's all that matters. She's the official Nana. She's a princess. She deserves all of it, and we just want to make sure she's all right. So that's very, very good. Yeah, but be careful out there. And everybody's in the football mode now. Kids all over the state are in the football mode. Coaches out there, and honestly, this is the one thing. Just public service, but you talk to like our trainers, you talk to Voos, you talk to all the folks who are smart on this stuff. The folks at UH, like it's hydrating before, it's nutrition before, it's eating right, it's hydrating leading up to. You can't wait for the kids out there. You can't wait to get to football and then to start sucking down a bunch of water. You got to do it beforehand. You have to pre-hydrate for these type of days.
Have to do it.
Brutal out there, absolutely brutal. It's going to be here before we know it. We're headed for preseason week number 2, headed over to Philly for the joint practices on Wednesday and Thursday. You guys will leave this afternoon. These are critical joint practices for our football team. They are especially critical at the quarterback position. This is a critical week for the quarterback room, I would say. I think it's fair to say. We kind of laid out kind of what we think could be. But beyond that, I mean, it's very critical, I would think, for Kenny Pickett that he gets back and can do some 11-on-11. If he can't, then pay attention to that. It's a critical.
If he
can't, then
turn out the lights.
Yeah, and
the party's over.
That one or closing time.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah,
fantastic song. That's college.
Well, that's our age. Yeah.
Semisonic,
baby.
Semisonic.
Of course, Semisonic. Yeah.
Great song.
Is that the one they have?
I don't know
of any others.
I have another.
I can't think of another.
I have 2 CDs, and I can't tell you anything else on either one of them.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it was a good one.
At 2 a.m. Every Bowling Green bar.
Every bar in America at 2 a.m. on a college campus closes. That's right. That's it.
It's kind of a genius thing that they did that song because, that song is going to have ultimate staying power.
Do you think they did?
I think somebody was like, hey, we need a song about like the end of the night at a bar, and if we call it closing time, forget the sentiments, but if we actually just call it closing time and say that, they're going to play it in bars.
Yeah. I know you do remember, I'm asking this rhetorically, but when you were that song and all these memories rush back, like the DEFCON 1 it was to find out where are we going next.
Oh, yeah.
Like, who's got the after party? Where are we going? Do you have a pool? Do you have this?
With whom?
I didn't have.
Well, I discovered that when I went to the South. I was like, oh, you guys have a little advantage here with your no winter stuff.
Yeah.
Things are a little better here.
It is better.
But yeah, like that was like the panic of like, where are we going? Well, it's not in the now.
Because every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end.
Nailed it. Back to the quarterbacks. 2 rookies. Massive for Dylan Gabriel this week. Massive for Shedeur as well.
And here's the thing with Dylan Gabriel. He is under, I think, incredible outside pressure for this game in Philadelphia. I don't think he's under incredible internal pressure for this game. He is a rookie 3rd-round pick who will be making his preseason debut as long as everything goes right. But he's going to be under incredible outside pressure.
Yeah.
And there's no way you can be a Clydesdale. You'd still know that was going on. Now, maybe you'd be a horse if you were actually a horse. You couldn't read or comprehend what was being talked about. But the horse sense of the man that gets
even our own social media, the first image is up or Shedeur every time.
Well, so Chris Rose told me, and I believe it to be true. He said, and I quote, that this was the highest rated preseason game on NFL Network in a decade.
I believe we had that.
So Shedeur equals ratings. There's no doubt. I think that what we saw was very encouraging. I think that part of it is everybody externally viewed Shedeur as being better than Dillon Gabriel. Mm-hmm. Like universally, right? Yeah. Now, the reality of the situation is that for a variety of reasons, which we have talked about some with the pre-draft process and how it went, the National Football League, 32 teams in the NFL, viewed Dillon Gabriel as better than Shedeur Sanders. Or maybe not 32, maybe some didn't draft either one, but that seems to be pretty much, well, we know certainly that's how it went, certainly in our building.
Yep.
Again, not based on the tape solely, based on all-encompassing, everything it takes to be a quarterback in the National Football League. Dillon Gabriel is in a tough spot. I feel badly for Dillon Gabriel. I really do.
Tough, yeah.
Because you can listen to any of the discourse going on, and people are saying, like, why is he here?
Yeah.
Well, he's here because the Browns really liked him. Their plan all along was to go into this season with Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, and Dillon Gabriel. That was the target, whether you guys like it or not. Things fell, and they said this is too good of a lottery ticket to pass up with Shedeur Sanders, and now he is here as well. But Dillon Gabriel, there is a lot of outside pressure on him. He needs to go out there and look good, I think, on Saturday. Now, he's played in a ton of big games. Mm-hmm. He's got as much experience. He does everything the right way. But he's going to have to go out there and execute on Saturday. And I think that's somewhat unfair. I think people need to just realize again, and I've said this ad nauseum, when you draft a quarterback in the 3rd round and in the 5th round, as the Browns did, these are not supposed to be your franchise saviors. Now, there's a perception that Shedeur Sanders can be that franchise savior, and I certainly think that he has everything it takes. If he can get all of the stuff it takes to be a quarterback, all of the stuff to be a professional quarterback in the National Football League, the stuff that we don't see, the meetings, the preparation, the process, all of those things, the pre-snap, all of the things that the operation, all the things that you need to be a quarterback. If he can do that, I believe he possesses the talent to absolutely be the answer. Now, Dillon was probably drafted in many ways to be, we really, really like him. We think his floor is that he can be, a long-term backup for us on a good contract over the next few years, which is very important for this franchise. But we really like him, and he's been successful everywhere he's gone. And he's played at 3 big programs. He's been successful at all 3. He's the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year last year at Oregon. He's had a season everywhere he's been with 32 or more passing touchdowns and 6 or fewer interceptions. 3 different stops, different systems. He's started more games than anybody in college football history. He's thrown more touchdowns than anybody in college football history. He's tied with Case Keenum for that. He's got the 2nd most passing yards in college football history behind only Case Keenum. He's got the most total touchdowns in college football history. Could he end up being a case? That'd be great. That'd actually be a really good outcome.
Yeah.
So I think people just need to enjoy what we're going to see. I think with the Kenny Pickett injury, and it's unfortunate, you feel badly for him because I think he just wanted a shot to prove he could be a starter again. Yeah. And this injury has really, unfortunately, just ripped the heart out of the work that needed to be done. And so Joe Flacco's been the best quarterback on every relevant ability, most importantly, availability.
Yep.
Because he hasn't missed any, and he's getting in a good groove. He looks great. So my guess is if Kenny Pickett is unable to go in 11-on-11s this week, that'll probably be it, and we're going to get an announcement that it'll be Joe Flacco as the starting quarterback, which sets up for a heck of a shootout, I think, week 1 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, to the rookies, as I said yesterday, everything changed and nothing changed. I think everything changed in the sense that it is clear he is the guy that we saw on tape in college, and that all the people who really like Shedeur Sanders saw everything that they wanted to see. Now, there's room for improvement, and there's going to be a lot that goes in. What we have to hope is that game, that juice he got, that fire, that it that he felt, and the it factor that he had and radiated across that stadium, across the airwaves, and became the number 1 story in football. Shedeur Sanders is the number 1 story in football.
That's right.
That gets him even more. And he's done everything to get caught up, but maybe it's like find a way more, because if he can get himself on the field in this regular season, I have no doubt he's going to be successful. And I think we need to see him on the field in this regular season.
Yeah.
And that will be up to a confluence of factors, but whatever is in his control, I think that obviously if he can capitalize on that, we're going to see good stuff. Now, Dillon Gabriel, he's going to get this opportunity. I hope Browns fans have an open mind about it. Our offensive coordinator, Tommy Reese, walking by. So about a month younger than Lil Zogs.
Yeah, there you go.
The newest member of the Reese clan. Dillon Gabriel does everything you want. He is going to be a valuable asset for this organization. Does that mean he's the answer, the savior at quarterback? I don't know. We're going to have to see how that plays out. But He is a rookie that has impressed. I know that the coaches have hold him in very high regard. I thought he had an excellent day yesterday, and that was, in some ways, I thought, a pressure situation for him coming off of Shadour's game that first practice, and he looked very good throwing the ball. Now we're going to get to see that on Sunday. Just remember, these are all Cleveland Browns. We want all these guys to be good.
God, yeah, for sure.
We want all these guys to be good. It's not time for tribalism. Let's just get these guys going, and let's get to a position where we've got too many good options. Because the fastest way for this organization to turn it around is for Dillon or Shedeur to be the guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can go into next year with 2 1s. Maybe you can turn 1-1 into 3 more 1s. There's a lot available to you if these guys can hit.
That's why we use the word lottery ticket.
That's exactly what they are. So I think
you're hitting it if you hit one of them.
And I just think they need to be judged that way.
Of course, they should be judged that way.
But
you can't expect. You cannot expect rational thought in a situation like this.
No.
And same too when you mentioned those numbers that Chris had about most viewed in 10 years from an NFL preseason game on the NFL Network. Well, here it's pretty simple why. Shedeur Sanders over the last 2 years was one of the stories in all of college football. He was part of one of these stories in college football. Buddy, they did 10 million viewers for a 10 o'clock kick against Colorado State 2 years ago.
Yep.
10 million. That's NBA Finals World Series numbers. It's a rivalry game between Colorado and Colorado State at 10 o'clock on ESPN. Did 10 million. They were one of the stories of college football. So that was a 2-year run. His teammate, one of his best friends, won the Heisman in an unprecedented fashion. We've never seen anybody play both ways over 2 seasons and do it at that level, and Travis did. So they were in the front of all of that. Last year during the season, they were in the mix for the college football playoff until really the end. They had a loss, I want to say, to Kansas late that derailed them, but otherwise they won 9 games. If they would have won 10, they probably would have got in the college football playoff. So then you fast forward to the offseason. He was the story of the Combine, even more than Cam Ward. It was, where does Shedeur go? We figured out at the Combine that Cam was going to go 1, but it was Shedeur. Everything from Combine until draft, it was Shedeur.
Yeah.
Why? Well, because 2 years ago, 10 million people watched him play at 10 o'clock at night, and society knows who he is. I mean this in the highest compliment. He is like a Kardashian when it comes to the fame part of it. Massive following on social. Kids love him, love the content, all of it. It's every single one of those boxes. When you draft him, number 2 overall, number 4 overall, 5th round, you're drafting all that encompasses that. And that's what leads to it. So he was the story leading up to the draft. Then he was the story for 3 straight days on the draft. So it's all part of it. So, yeah, you knew that's the way that was going to go. He is a celebrity quarterback in the way that Johnny was beforehand. Bake, to a certain degree, was. Not to this level, though. I think Johnny's probably closest. Johnny's probably closest.
Yeah.
The other thing, though, about Bake was Bake didn't get to start his preseason debut. So that's the other thing about this. You knew he was starting.
Yep.
So that allowed for kind of the buildup. Every other rookie, when they get a chance to play as a quarterback, you don't know. I mentioned this yesterday. Like Brady Quinn didn't play until the 4th quarter of his first preseason game. Like if everybody knew he was starting and playing on that night, would it have been different? Probably. I think the same's probably true with Baker and Johnny. Like if it was like, oh yeah, they're starting the preseason game, you knew it. So it was like the perfect storm in every possible way. Not just the way that he played, but the lead up, the build up, all of it. It led to all these things coming together at once.
I mean, Nike made kind of an ad with it.
Yeah.
In the middle of the first preseason game of the year.
Yeah.
With Shedeur. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on another level, and you know what? You are right. Nobody could expect a different outcome, and I think that if what I want more than anything is for there to be a point in which there are only reasons why he has to play, and that he's got to keep progressing and keep putting in the work and keep the diligence and keep the professionalism and understand that process and everything it takes to be an NFL quarterback, that it has to be your lifestyle day in, day out, minute in, minute out. And I know he's on his way and he's working and progressing on that. But if he can do that, there will be no reason why you would say he shouldn't play, and then we can see what happens.
Yeah.
But I do think, again, it's one preseason game against the 2s and 3s of the Carolina Panthers, who were not that impressive. There were some real good things on tape, real good, that were exactly what you thought he would be. We need to see that keep going. I'm curious to see him in this environment against Philly. It just feels to me like after seeing that, he's just going to be somebody that's going to rise to the occasion. Like, this is what it feels like. It just
He's so comfortable in who he is that he walks right up to Miles on the sideline and starts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's just how sure he is of himself.
yeah.
That's the way he carries himself, and then they have the back and forth, and the rest of it works. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun week. It's going to be a fun week.
Without
over
the
there.
D, he's just sure Sanders.
That's true. A couple other things. The Browns have signed defensive end Titus Leo and waived wide receiver Chase Cota. Leo, 6'3", 250, officially in his second NFL season out of Wagner, originally drafted by Indy in the 6th round in 2023. He appeared in 4 career games with the Patriots. Leo will wear number 98. Here. Couple other things, just letting you know what's happening this week. Today is a travel day, so the fellas will leave this afternoon. And then Wednesday, 10 a.m., joint practice number 1 over in Philly. Thursday, joint practice number 2 over in Philly. There will be a walkthrough on Friday, and then preseason game number 2 at 1 o'clock in Philly. Weather hot over there, I'm guessing, for you boys? You got to look at it.
Very hot. 90s, humidity, could be some crazy rain.
The Casa de Gibbs will be the home base for the radio studio, not outside under a 10x10 tent like the Eagles had given us.
No.
No, thank you.
I don't think we will do that.
No,
think
we
we'll
won't
pass.
do that.
We'll pass
Zagura keeps saying it's going to rain. It's not going to rain at practice.
I don't know.
Well, there's only
what.
one way to know, and that's to go to the AccuWeather.
So here's what AccuWeather says. And
you're back.
He was
You're
yelling
all the
at
way
me.
back.
I'm all, dude. Once it
we had the
won.
trial.
It
Next
won.
week, who knows?
It won. No,
Maybe
this
the
is
heat
all
will
I
get
use
to
now.
him.
All right, give it to me.
I mean, if it says to me Thursday the 14th, 80% chance of rain, and
Well,
Wednesday
what
the
is the
13th
hourly?
says 55% chance, it just says intervals of cloud and sun with a thunderstorm in parts of the area on Thursday, 80% chance of rain.
You have to go hourly now.
By the way, doing hourly today maybe will give us some insight into Wednesday, but dude, this stuff changes.
Yeah, you probably can do that 24 hours out.
That's
maybe,
fine.
Maybe
That-
36.
But
So what time's practice tomorrow?
everything's at 10 a.m.
All right, so
I
from
know
10 to
that's
noon
gonna
tomorrow
require
on
you to be on
Wednesday,
the
we're
bus
good.
early.
Rain's coming in the afternoon, it appears.
On Wednesday?
Yeah. Now Thursday, it
we
looks
get
like
there?
we could get. We're at 51% chance at 9 a.m. Gibbe.
Yeah, you got a little potential for thunderstorm on Thursday
Perfect.
at that time. Did you guys
That's changed since this morning.
'Cause you
This
guys
is my
have- you
48
guys have
hour
spent-
out.
No, you're not on this app, Gibbe.
got to get on the right app? Get the right phone, right app. Everything's going to
Yeah,
change.
get an
for you,
iPhone.
Gibby.
Hoff called you out. He said you need an iPhone. You're ruining the group chat.
I'm a Hall of Fame Android user, Hoff.
Hoff is
that
demanding change out
Put
of
it in
you.
your pipe.
Have you guys did Stefanski ever give you guys his Philly cheesesteak to get?
He has, and the pizza place.
That
as well,
I was gonna say the pizza joint.
He gave you the pizza joint and the Philly cheese. Did you have the Philly cheesesteak there?
Yes, because they gave it to us after our game last year. I think they were.
Was it with Whiz or was it? What was the cheese choice?
I think it was without.
To me, it can't be Whiz. That's no.
I think Whiz is what separates Philly from the rest, right? Feels like you get a Philly cheesesteak anywhere that it comes
The first Philly
with like
cheesesteak.
provolone, but then over there it feels like it's with Whiz.
The first Philly cheesesteak I ever fell in love with was at Emory. In our dorm, we were like on the outskirts of Emory.
Who gets hurt at 2 a.m.?
We were on the outskirts, but we
that's
had our
supposed to be.
The
own.
cheesesteak I ever had was at Emery.
No, that I fell in love with.
That you fell in love with. I'm sorry.
That's right. Before that, I was strictly a French dip man. If I was going,
Oh, I
was a
prefer a
French,
French
dip.
dip.
Well,
I
I,
think-
still do to this
I do
day.
too.
Obviously.
I think a French dip is
prime
slept
rib,
on.
au jus, great
Such a
baguette.
win. Yeah.
The
Prime
au
ribs don't-
jus softens it so it doesn't cut
the
your
French
mouth.
dip does not get the attention it deserves that it got when we were children. When we were kids,
Oh.
like, that was the king of sandwiches.
Well, yeah,
French
as
dip.
well, it is.
I don't know what happened.
Features
to
the
it.
king of meats.
It's not even offered
I
that
don't
often
think
anymore.
enough
Is it the
people
au
can't
jus?
even handle the prime rib, and they don't even know how to make it. That's the only knock,
That's
by the
the
way.
only thing it's
The
gotta
Jerry West Steakhouse at the Greenbrier, only knock on. They don't know how to do an au jus. They have like a gelatinous au
They
jus.
do. That's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah,
Very strange. Yeah, that's true.
give me an au
All right.
jus. Anyway,
Emory.
so we had the Terman Deli was our own little spot. We were way on the outskirts, so we were kind of like a rogue nation, which was great for us.
Yeah,
because
you
we
thrive.
We did thrive
in rogue
I think if
settings.
we were in a more public setting,
No.
none of us would have graduated from
That's what
Emory.
you want. Behind the gates is what I want.
That's where we wanted to be.
Yeah.
But we had our own deli. We were the only dorm that had its own deli. And
Pretty good
Elijah
win.
made this cheesesteak unbelievable. But so provolone,
Yeah.
yes. And I'm not much of a cheese guy, but just a little bit of provolone, very nice. And then every now and then he'd go, kabam, with a little bit of marinara, and it was like a
Oh.
pizza cheesesteak.
Well, so that's not a cheesesteak.
That's
to
not
be
a
fair,
cheesesteak.
that's a sandwich. That sounds like a delight.
Some
Yes.
hot peppers sometimes. You
Yeah.
slice a little
Oh,
hot
yeah.
pepper
That seems
in
more
there.
like what Tony would get at Satriali's. Is what that sounds like
Yeah,
to
a
me.
little pepper and
That's what that
It
sounds
started
like
as
to
a
me.
cheesesteak. It ended
in a very different way.
legendary.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good though.
Well, it was.
Yeah, so there you go. You have that to look forward to. And you guys had your great meal there. Did
Yeah.
you have a meal with Hoff there that was like an all-time meal in
it was like a
Philly?
baby pig delivered to us.
Remember it was
Hop
on a
and
platter.
Who was
the
in on
Big
that?
L.
Oh, the biggest, one of the biggest L's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that'll be fun. Be exciting.
Yeah, they did bring like a whole animal.
Yeah, that was entree number 6, and the Big L looked at me, and I looked at him, and we're like, we are not competing with these two.
No,
This is not.
You're prolific.
This
You're
is
out of your
a
depth,
whole
brother.
other thing.
You're out of your
This is-
depth.
Zagura's prolific, but the Hoff's ability, it's a Hall of Fame level ability.
I'm more just like you look and all of a sudden my plate's empty. It's
It's a machine.
It's a methodical. It just
it's
never
just a
ends.
pace that just never.
But he is to my eating style with liquid. So beers just evaporates. He'll order. In fact, he'll order
Yes,
2
he
or
will.
3 at a time. If it's like if he's drinking just a light beer,
Yeah.
because they can't keep him
Can't keep
Yeah.
up with that.
fast enough.
He'll know after the first round. He's like, okay, I'm going to have to order 2 or I'm going to have to order 3 because
Yeah.
the service is not
Yeah,
really.
he can make a
gonna
bottle of
keep
wine
up.
disappear like a glass. It's
one
nuts.
drink.
Yeah.
Yep.
Glug.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
It's impressive.
He's incredible.
Great
What did
Hoff.
he? Speaking of baguettes, didn't he get something on the plane? When we got on the plane,
Oh, he was so
we're
excited.
Like,
the
we had
other
already
night, so-
eaten a meal.
So
We'd
we'd
already
eaten
had
a really good barbecue
at
meal.
11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, there was a good barbecue place that he was actually excited to try. That was our post game meal. So Kelsey, shout out, great job. Then
Noble Smoke is what it's called.
yeah, Noble Spoon was very good.
Very good.
And so then he's like, well, what's on the plane?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, usually there's like Red Robin, and there'll be whatever's on the menu or whatever. But
Yeah.
some little things. And he walks in. And he's like, he had brisket on the bus. Like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be that hungry. And he gets in, and it's like a hamburger, but it says brioche bun. He's like, brioche? He's like, I got to have this because it's got a
gotta try
brioche.
this.
So he takes the burger, and then thinking we're not looking, he also grabbed a 12-pack of wings. So he had, and went down
I'm
to
sitting
it.
right next to you, buddy.
By the way, the Hoff, the best
great
part of the
Hoff.
Hoff is, listen, and this tells you, like, you look at Adonis, great shape,
Oh, my
incredible.
God, yeah.
First ballot Hall of Famer, all of it. Gibbe, you sat with him. By the way, I'm kind of hoping maybe I get to sit with you on this trip, Gibbe.
I was blessed.
Gibbe was in the VIP seat
shock.
with the Hoff.
Ooh.
I was
Yeah.
in the exit row.
It's appropriate.
Yeah. I'm hoping no Hoff. Maybe I can get it.
Maybe you
Let's
got to
see.
slide
That's-
into that exit row, baby.
Yeah.
A little space.
Be real nice.
Be all right.
I don't know if a
Yeah,
beer's
big drink of
watching.
water. Big drink of water.
So the Hoff has to travel with a great many contraptions. He's got around his neck, which is pretty standard. Then he has this. He sits there and he inflates this thing that his arm can rest on because of his elbow,
elbow
and
and
shoulders
shoulders?
and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and then didn't he have one other? I
Oh,
thought
this
there
is
were
for an hour and 5-minute
I
flight.
thought there were 3 things. I thought he had
like
3
it
things.
was
I mean,
a
the man
solid
gave blood, sweat,
15
and
minute.
tears.
It was a 15-minute.
He's
thing.
the only
Yeah.
person that I think that can go on this
Yeah.
wall. And that conference room's named
You know
after
what would
him,
be?
so it makes
You know what I
sense.
would do? I mean, let's just spitball it here. I would do almost like a franchise Mount Rushmore collage.
Yeah.
So give me Jim Brown, give me Otto, give me Bernie, give me Joe. Right there. There's a bunch more you could choose from too.
Plenty.
But yeah,
That's a
those
good one.
guys put those guys up there and then
Yeah.
and do it like maybe in a black and white with orange popping the way they did that
Yeah,
one.
this one. Yeah. It's very nice.
I like it. I don't know. Yeah, that would be a good.
I think
one.
there's
a lot of
merit
ones.
to your thought.
Yeah, I like that. That
Well,
notion.
if we're not expecting much, there's 31 minutes for you.
There you go, kids.
a
You no doubt have seen by now that Miles was cited for speeding early Saturday morning, going 160 on I-71 near Strongsville.
As somebody who's lived here and in Atlanta, you don't hear about these stories with Atlanta athletes.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a NASCAR down there.
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like
that
it's,
part of it. Yeah.
Here, you can't speed on 71.
No, you cannot. You cannot. And it's wild. I mean,
It's
this
just-
wouldn't impact Miles because it's 100, but it always is stupefying to me when I see 60 there, and I just think, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? It is 3 lanes. Let's go. Move it along. So.
Everything should be this is my opinion.
Yep.
You might say I'm wrong. I think everything should be a 79, but hard. Like, that's it. 80, not okay. Not here's the speed limit, and you can go 6 to 9 over depending on my mood
hard
or
cap.
who I am.
There's a hard deck.
The speed limit is 79 miles an hour.
Hard
the
deck.
end.
Yeah. Over it by even a minute.
80
One
to the
mile.
side.
I don't have a problem with that.
79.
Yep.
Everybody,
that's it.
these cars all can operate at 79. And
Comfortably, yeah.
you don't even notice you're going that fast now.
Yeah.
Cars are so smooth.
Yeah.
79, hard cap.
Yeah.
So throw your cruise at 79. You're good.
Yep.
We're all moving. We're getting places fast.
Yep.
Getting there safe.
Yep.
80, no.
I love that.
That's it.
I love the
A
hard
real
and
speed
fast.
limit. This is the speed limit. It is 79.
I hate that it's nebulous.
Right.
I hate it. I hate that you.
If you get pulled over for going 7 over, like,
I did.
I know, but that's outrageous.
I know.
That's egregious. But that's why 79,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah. It was 79 just south of Mount Gilead.
And you can maybe drop it into a
77 rather. 77.
You can maybe drop it to a 69 situation in and around cities,
Sure.
like when you're in, those type of things.
Well, this is
We're talking about
71. At what point does 71 go to 70? Doesn't it go to 70 at some
70,
point?
yeah.
Where
Yes.
does it go to 70? Is that like south of like
around the watershed.
Medina? Like when does it get to that?
Yeah, yeah. I think
Because
so.
at 60,
Yes,
For
it's
weight.
just outside of Medina.
That's when you
could-
can
it
finally
might-
go. Or is
Medina
it just
might
outside of
actually be
Bruns?
part of that. It's 65 at least.
It's 60. Like all that whole Brecksville 77 is all 60. Drives me nuts. Like all the
When
way
I
down.
drive to the in-laws
What
on
do you got, Kev?
77, it's usually 70 just outside of downtown Canton. That's when it kind of turns for
So
us.
you're right. I go down there for youth sports all the time. You're right. It's just south of. That's exactly where it is.
That's too far.
That's way
like
too
an
far.
Hour and a half away
Yeah.
before you get to 70. Now,
crazy.
77 is 77 still like 2 lanes in each direction?
I haven't been on it.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
catch it off of 8 on the other side of Akron, so I don't catch it there. Yeah, I don't know. But, like, it's 3 lanes through here. Either way, 100 a little too fast, needless to say. Those are your hot topics today, presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. Coming up next, some things to look for during joint practices this week. We will get into that. We're off and running on a Tuesday edition. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly. Allen is bringing his I'm the Problem tour to Huntington Bank Field this Friday and Saturday. Country music sensations Miranda Lambert, Thomas Rhett, Ella Langley not on that. I saw yesterday that she's has some stuff. She's going to chill out a little bit, so she will not be there. But Miranda Lambert, Thomas Rhett will be there, and the headliner, of course, is Morgan Wallen. Tickets on sale now at huntingtonbankfield.com/Morgan Wallen. Don't miss out on this must-see summer show. We will be at joint practices with the defending Super Bowl champions the next 2 days. Gibbe and his cavalcade of minions back there want to know the top 5 things you are looking for in joint practices.
I don't know. I just got bad news. Gibbe, did you just get the text?
Why? What happened? What happened?
Did you get your seat text?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
39?
Yeah.
I didn't move up. Who they move up?
I'll think of
Outrageous.
You're still in the
Cute.
back? And
Yeah.
So Gibby's 39 is exit row?
Cue the Sarah McLaughlin.
And where are you? Like 60?
40.
I
Right
will
behind him.
remember you.
Right behind him? So you have to watch him?
Yeah.
Recline and comfort?
It was
I
fine.
want-
when
hey,
was
I
him
want
hop.
you to
I'm
know-
happy for Gibbe.
I never recline.
That's a good job.
I don't recline. I don't
Yeah,
believe in
think you
reclining.
can. I don't think you
It's an
can
hour
unless
flight.
everybody Well, hold on a second. I'm not going to say that. You can absolutely recline.
If this was a red eye,
And you can absolutely
Recline.
recline on any flight over a certain amount of time.
yeah.
Like any sort of red eye, you fly to Hawaii, you fly across the country, recline your heart out. That's
Yeah.
fine. But this is what, an hour?
It's an hour and change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this one. This is you could drive this one.
I did twice this summer. I did it twice to this area. Not quite all the way to Philly. We were in the Maryland side, but yeah, there's a different level of humidity over there. All right, top 5 things that you're looking for when we do joint practices against the Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champions, who, by the way, doing in my morning activities, taking a look kind of around the NFL, hitting every team over the next couple of days. And we did Philly today on that show. And with Dickerson now coming back, this is without question. And honestly, I don't know it's particularly close. It's the most talented roster in football, top
Very
to
good
bottom.
roster.
There's nothing. There's not a hole. There's nothing where you look at, well, here's a weakness. There isn't a weakness. They're protected even from injury in a lot of spots because of the depth. It's just they're Super Bowl champions for a reason. It's hard, very, very difficult to repeat, but their roster is a thing to behold, my friend.
Yeah, they won't have Dickerson until he'll be ready for the season, right?
For the season. Yeah, he won't be there
He
this
won't be
week.
there this week.
Yeah.
The number one thing that I'm looking for is, I think it's obvious. Does Kenny Pickett participate in team drills? And if the answer to that is no, and the 1 reps are, I'm not going to say exclusively, predominantly Joe Flacco, I think that tells you what we've been telling you since last week.
Yeah, if Kenny can't go in 11 on 11, then this week, then that's there's no reason to keep this going. Like
Right.
it's
Joe
is what
Flacco,
it is.
let's get
It's
ready,
Flacco,
and
and then-
everybody get on board. We're
Yeah.
in the same direction.
Yep.
Number 2, sticking in that quarterback room. Does Shador get any 1 reps? Does he get any? Or is it going to be all Flacco? Or is it going to be Flacco with a little bit of Gabriel sprinkled in? Or is it going to be Flacco with a little bit of Gabriel and a little bit of Shador?
If Kenny can't go, how many of the
Like
1 reps against Philly the next 2 days do you think, and I'm asking you to get into a coach's head so I won't hold you to this, how many would Kevin want Joe to get if Kenny can't go in 11 on 11?
So let's just use a number. I don't know what the answer is, but
Say it's 15.
I was going to say it's 50
Okay, 50.
over the course of 2 days.
Okay, yeah.
I would think he would at least want him to get 33 to 35, so 2/3 to 70%.
Yeah.
Because it could be as high as 80%.
Yeah.
Now, if there was, let's say he did 35, I would love to see, or do 34 for Flacco and do 8 for Gabriel for each day,
Yep.
and 8 for Shador for each day.
Yeah. That's what I'll be paying attention to, is especially if Kenny can't do the 11s. Like, how much does Joe get the most?
Or you
but
can
then
do
be
30, 10, and 10.
30, whatever that looks like. What's that split look like down the road? Because what we've been talking for last few days about it's getting late quick, and it's also you're running out of reps.
Yeah.
You really are. Like the most valuable reps for this team in terms of where we are, position battles, who can play, who can't, are going to be tomorrow and Thursday in Philly.
Oh, yeah. So number 3 is just kind of more overall, like, how do we match their physicality? And can we hang?
It's trenches.
Can we hang?
Can we
This
block
is the
them?
best team in the league. Can we hang?
It's the most talented fronts. Can we protect Joe? Can we protect whoever the quarterback is from their rush? And then can we, on the other side, the trench warfare battle?
I think we can get there.
I think we can too. I think our defensive line, the investment in our defensive line, we ought to be a top 5 defensive line in football.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I
think we are. And I think the depth is there. We don't have Mike Hall yet. So eventually he's going to come back and add to it. Like him and Graham in the middle is going to be nuts.
Yep.
And Miles on the outside. So can our defensive line wreak havoc on Jalen Hurts? And then can we protect against their D-line, which is quite formidable?
All right. Number 4. I am becoming concerned about our cornerback depth or lack thereof. Hopefully we can see Denzel and Greg out there, but to me, we need to figure out who that third guy is and if he's here. And if he's not here, how do we get the person that needs to be here?
Because we were pretty confident that Cam Mitchell could handle that. Did it not go that well in
I don't think
Charlotte?
I didn't think he had a great game in Charlotte. I don't think Anusium had a great game in Charlotte, and I certainly don't think that Miles Harden had a good game. Now, the guy that did have a good game in Charlotte was Nick Needham. Now, that was a lot further into the game, but Nick Needham is a guy that's played in 63 games with 27 starts. Now, he hasn't started since 2022, but his first 3 years in the league, he had 2 picks each of those 3 years. So he's a veteran. He's done it. I don't know. He looked good. I don't know if that's the answer. He hasn't been somebody's answer as a starter in quite some time. That's what I'm saying. I'm concerned about that position. This is a team that can throw the football and has very, very talented receivers. And so I'm curious to see how we match up with that.
Well, we're going to have to live in a division and a cross-division matchup this season that is not kind to people who don't have people who can hold up on the perimeter.
No.
Just not.
Now, the good news is we've got Denzel is elite, and I would say the Steelers have 1 elite receiver in DK Metcalf. The Bengals obviously have 2, but if we have Greg and Denzel out there, now the problem with them is in the past, MJ was a pretty darn good matchup with T. Higgins because of his size, so we don't have that anymore. And then the Ravens have Zay Flowers. Now, Bateman played well last year, but they're going to be more run the tight ends. But we need that nickel, and that nickel's got to be not only good in the pass game, that nickel's got to be good in our run game. That is something that I think is very important, and that's not something that we have seen so far. That's where we've got to see. That's where Cam Mitchell would really have to step up. They both graded. Cam Mitchell on his 23 snaps got a 51 grade. Chiganusium got a 46.1. They were players 23 and 27 out of 30 for the Browns. Nick Needham was number 3. Tony Brown had a very good game. That's not something we've seen from him historically to play corner that level, but the apex looked pretty darn good out there. And then I thought Dom Jones, number 37, had some pretty good snaps out there, and that'll be interesting to see. Maybe he's an undrafted guy that can surprise and do some things, but I thought he did pretty good. He had a nice PBU and was around the ball, so that was good to see.
Well, and your Newsome and Denzel both have missed time in their careers, so that's what I mean. That part of it too. Like the depth has to really be there without MJ, who is always such a constant. Number 5.
So I've been feeling really good about this one, but didn't get to come away from the preseason opener feeling quite as good, and that's Dustin Hopkins. Missed 1 extra point. Kind of looked like he missed 2.
Yeah.
I just think, again, we're going to be good defense, good run game. We're going to have to take advantage of all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like we're going to have to be special on special teams. The year we went to the playoffs, it was Flacco, and it was Dustin Hopkins hitting big field goals that won us a great number of games.
Yeah. That's the recipe, brother.
Yeah.
Going to be a big week over there for sure. We'll go around the league coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Serious Lawyers, serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case for you. Elk & Oaks, proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. As we go around the league, as I mentioned earlier, Landon Dickerson undergoing minor knee surgery on a meniscus. He is week to week, with the goal being available for week 1. 49ers head coach, Pedro's best friend, Kyle Shanahan, said that wide receiver Brandon Ayuk is on track to return around week 6 after the ACL injury he suffered last year. So an update there from Niners camp. Bills running back James Cook will return to practice today. He's in the midst of seeking a new contract there. Did you see the comments from Cam Hayward, by the way, in Pittsburgh? He just redid a 2-year deal last year for 2 years, $29. The guarantees on that are up. He wants to be paid what he's worth. He's 36 years old.
He said, if I'm an
he's a
all-pro
gold
again,
jacket.
I'm going to come back and renegotiate. And he was an all-pro last year.
It's just weird. Like, they're all in as possibly as can be with Rodgers 1 year, all of it.
So then pay him.
Just pay him and move along.
Move on.
Like, why?
Yep.
Why do this? It just seems like a waste. I'm
Couldn't
glad
agree
they
more.
are, but it just seems stupid. Packers quarterback Jordan Love undergoing a procedure today on a ligament issue in his left thumb. He suffered the injury in Green Bay's preseason opener. The team expects him to be ready for week 1 on that. Couple of media business news. ESPN's extended Lisa Salters, elevated Laura Rutledge to sideline roles, added both Katie George and Peter Schrager to its game coverage, to result in 2 sideline reporters for all NFL games on ESPN. Salters and Rutledge will be with Buck and Aikman, and then Schrager and George will be with, is it Fowler, Orlovsky, and
Louis
Riddick on the second team. There's 5 games they're calling. That second team is calling 5 games this year.
So they're going to be 5 double Mondays?
Either that or maybe the Saturdays.
Interesting.
They still have that Saturday
All right.
window.
Yeah.
Is kind of the way that goes. So, yeah, there you go. Lots happening around the league. Big week, too, for a lot of teams. This hold-in thing is something that's very real. We mentioned it with Cam Hayward, mentioned it with James Cook. There's no hold-in that's happening in Dallas, but that's still happening there with Micah Parsons as he continues to sit out there. Trey Hendrickson still continues to sit out in Cincinnati as well.
Getting late early. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll be here before we know it on this, on all of this.
Yes.
Stuff. Yeah.
Trey Hendrickson, I'd like you to sit out. The best way to get your leverage is for you to sit out week 1, and we beat you.
Flacco spins it all over the place, and we win.
And we win. And then there's, he gets to stand there like a statue. Look at Gibby. What a legend.
Compelling and
what
rich.
a stroll.
What the heck was? I just had something on that. Oh, it was Emmitt Smith who they did that with.
with the
Remember
Cowboys.
years
Yeah,
ago
of course.
when he sat out at the beginning and they lost a couple of games. The next thing you know, Jerry said, "Okay, fine, let's go. Let's get you paid up." That was though back when they were true Super Bowl contenders, which that operation is not now. All right, there you go.
By the way, real quick,
Go
some news from Adam Schefter that Odell Beckham Jr. is retiring from the National Football League.
Well, should we take a break and then reflect on that? Because obviously we have
Yeah,
some
we had some
times
good times with him.
with
Sure.
him. Yeah, we'll take a quick time out and reflect to the news of the retirement of Odell Beckham Jr. Among other things in the second hour of the program. Here you listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. It's presented by Ballybet Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Hey, Browns enter the Dog Dash Sweepstakes presented by Milkbone for a chance to have your pup compete in the annual dog races during halftime of the Browns-Dolphins game on October 19th. Grand prize includes 2 season tickets for the 26th season and Milkbone for a year. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/milkbone to enter. We were duped.
We were duped, but so was a lot of people because Odell just
Where
took
did you see
Odell from Adam Scheffler.
No, but where did you see it retweeted? Who retweeted
on
it?
Twitter. It
No, I
just
know.
looked like it was Adam Schefter, but I didn't.
Right, but
it's very
someone
quick.
must have retweeted because you don't follow that person.
I follow Adam. I'm sure it just ended up on my
You know what I
For
mean?
You. I'm sure, so
Yeah.
it got like going to
The For You
football
is a
people.
dangerous world.
It's a dangerous place. But the
Stand
actual
there.
Odell Beckham verified has said, "I am not done yet. Thanks for your concerns. Have a blessed day."
Well, he might be.
He is not done of his own volition yet.
I
He had 9
think-
catches for 55 yards, 6 yards a catch in last season. And
Yeah,
he is not
it's-
currently on a roster.
It's one of those things that when, as a professional athlete, the end sometimes can be a cliff. Sometimes it can be, a slow descent, just slowly, slightly getting worse off. And then sometimes it's just bang and it happens. His is a lot tied to injuries with him, for sure. When we acquired him,
Dude, it was pandemonium.
what was it?
We were
number
top
one
10
sports,
pod-
we're number one
yeah.
sports podcast in the world.
In the world.
You and I, Gibby set it up from here. We were on our phones
I was
at home
I remember sitting on the floor I was by my fireplace.
Yeah, we were
I
like-
remember right where I was.
on phones. We recorded it like 15 minutes.
Joe Thomas was on NFL Network, guest hosting when it broke.
Yeah. And we did it. But yeah, and at that time, I remember we had so much fun with it because we were teasing Dorse like, hey, when it comes time with the first pick in the draft, the Cleveland Browns select Odell Beckham Jr. Like that was kind of the thing we were
but
all doing.
Do you remember, like a month, not even a month, a few weeks earlier at the Combine, Dorsey called out the GM of the Giants, was like, I'm available.
Well, if you remember, they were sitting together. They got caught on the camera together.
They got caught on the camera.
Yeah.
Was that after the
That was at the Combine.
But was that after they had their media sessions?
Maybe.
Because the media session is when Dorse was so fun with that stuff.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Phone's on.
What struck me when we got him was I was surprised at his size. For some reason in my head, I thought he was like 6'1", something like that. But he was a relatively small guy. He was about the same. Was Jarvis bigger? Or was he bigger than Jarvis? They're about the same, right?
I would say about the same.
Yeah.
The thing that I remember, so I'll give you just what they're listed at. Odell is listed as being, of course, our internet's very slow right now. What I remember surprised me the most about that time is how hurt he was that he got traded by the Giants.
Yes.
He was wounded.
Yeah.
by that,
Yeah.
emotionally.
Absolutely. I mean, he was on the way to being an iconic Giant. He was a rocket ship out of the gates.
right, so
the
he's
catch on
5'11".
Monday night is an all-timer.
5'11", 200,
Yeah.
and Jarvis 5'11", 196.
So
Similar.
they're mirrors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jarvis, 5-time Pro Bowler.
Jarvis's jersey was in the Pro Football Hall of Fame because he was the
Most
fastest
catches, yep.
almost every year, fastest
like-
through 2 years, through 3 years, through 4, and then I think Michael Thomas blew him up a little bit because Michael Thomas had that 150 catch, 140 some catch season with New Orleans. I'm not sure if he still has those records or not, but I think that
Michael
Jarvis
Thomas
started
did it
out.
for 4, so yeah, he would have blown him away for 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he only had 40 in his 5th year. The 7th, he hurt his ankle and then was gone.
Yeah, completely gone.
Jeez. It's what's crazy about this game. It comes and goes so quickly.
And we were just, I mean, we've talked about this before because you were talking about the corner position, and one of the things we were surprised in the draft was that we didn't take a wide receiver in the draft. We were curious, like, where is that going to come? Was it going to come in? Would there be a free agent signing? Like, what would that look like? And we were talking about the receivers who are unsigned. You think about Amari, and you think about the last time Joe was here, the stretch of games that Amari Cooper had, including the greatest receiving game in the history of the Cleveland Browns. Like, all of that happened, and then it was the next year, and it was different. And right now, Amari's not on a roster, which is impossible. Like, you go back a year ago, and if I were to tell you 1 year from now, Amari will not be on an NFL roster coming off of that season, No chance.
It's wild. I mean, that season, 72 catches, 1,250 yards, career high, 17.4 yards a catch, career high. And then the following year, he averages 12.4 yards a catch, 547 yards. He goes from averaging 83 yards a game to 39, which is the lowest of his career. It's just stupefying, really.
So he's the same age as Odell. They're both 31, 32, right in that age. Same thing happened with Jarvis, though. Like, I wouldn't have thought that when Jarvis left here that would be the end of his meaningful football.
That was it.
And that was it. He went to New Orleans, and I think he played a year, and then that was
it. He
it.
played 9 games, had 25 catches for 272 yards and touchdown, and that was it.
And I haven't heard from Jarvis or seen anything from Jarvis in a while.
No.
I loved him here.
Oh,
he's
such
so
a
great
guy.
here. Yeah.
He's probably just enjoying life. These guys made
Yeah.
a great deal of money. He and Odell were brothers, great friends, and probably just in Louisiana loving life,
Yeah, it's just it's the mortality of this business. It's how quickly things change. Sometimes in one off season you can go from being that level to all of a sudden there's a little less in the take. And the honest reality is that a little less at this level is everything.
Everything.
It's all the margins. They're so slim. All right, you are heading. You're heading to Philly tonight, and then we'll have those 2 joint practices. In terms of, do we have a sense of this week? You're going to get most of the good work on Wednesday, Thursday.
That'll be all the starters, and then the backups. And
will Philly play the same way?
Yeah.
They'll play that same way.
Yeah.
These 2 operations are pretty like, and they're like-minded in their ways on that. I'm looking forward to getting your impression. I think tomorrow's show is going to be fascinating. We have a lot more on this show, of course, but I think tomorrow's show is going to be interesting because what you reveal based on what you see starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow, can we hold up? Because if you think about what we want to be, and you just kind of outlined it in terms of defensive team, run the ball, protect the ball, make our field goals, win the special teams game, all of that. That's our roadmap for success. That all starts up front. You had, I think, 3 on your list of 5 things to look forward to. But in order for that to happen, that you got to hold up on those 2 lines of scrimmage.
Yeah, and this is the measuring stick, and I think that we are right there. So this is an opportunity to go out and prove that, to prove that our offensive line can hold up against their very, very good front and that our D-line can get the better of, a complete line. Now, they won't have Dickerson, but – yeah, this is big. It's a big. If this team is going to be a team that wins a lot more games than I would say most people think, if this team is going to be a team that is frisky and in the wild card picture, it's going to be because of our physicality and our ability, in those situations to execute at a high level and to take care of the football, but to be able to match some of the elite in the trenches, because that's the only thing right now you can hang your hat on. Where are we our best? In the trenches is the answer.
Yes.
So that's
especially with the loss to MJ. I mean, yeah. For sure.
And our quarterback room went from feeling really good about it to not.
Mm-hmm. It's very thin there.
It's
very thin. And I think, the other thing that I'll be very curious about is what is our approach offensively. As of right now, Quinshon Judkins isn't on this team. He is the hammer in this running back room. Jerome Ford can be that too, but he doesn't quite have the physicality that Quinshon does. So if you don't have Quinshon this week in Philly, and there's no reason to believe that you will, he's not here now. But whenever that happens, up until that point, how are we going about our business offensively? So that's something where Harold Fannin, what is his role in this offense with Chief, creating mismatches on the various levels for Joe Flacco, if it is him primarily this week? What does that look like? And those type of things. Will a receiver opposite Jerry Jeudy step up this week? Is there something that shines there? Those are things you're going to be watching for the next couple of days.
Yeah, that's everything that we're going to be watching for. There's a lot to see. Can Deontay Johnson solidify his spot? This will be a very good test for him going against the Eagles secondary, which is very good. How many are we going to carry on the offensive line?
You'll have to do that this week, kind of where you see the 53 is. Maybe on Friday we do that before that second preseason game, kind of go through the list of how you see the 53 as it stands, because we've been saying 4 quarterbacks.
Like, I'm seeing some I think you're going to, but I'm going to see – I've seen some 53s that have us going 26 on offense and 24 on D. Like, it's just not – I just don't think that's going to happen.
No one knows this more than you, in terms of how the makeup of these rosters typically go. You maybe miss on 1 or 2 a year. It's not much. So, yeah, I mean, that would be very different than what we typically do.
Well, we have to. We're going to have 10 on the D line.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way that they're going to roll with it. It's going to be interesting, but that's something we can go through as this week goes on, and I'll get a better idea as we look at these things as well.
All right, very good. Safe travels out of you guys, and
Thank you.
And look forward to those tomorrow and seeing what's happening with those big joint practices. Jerry Jeudy going to be one of the stars on this football team. He's got to be. You're going to have that to look forward to coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. It's presented by Ballybet Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Fun to your fandom with the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Download today, get 50 back in bonus bets. You place that first wager of 10 or more. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Now we head to the podium, presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Here is Jerry Jeudy at the podium.
You're down 8 minutes.
Great practices with Eagles. What do you hope to get accomplished against such a good defense?
It's always great to be able to compete against other teams other than ourselves, so, I'm more excited just going out there, making plays, and execute our play, and do what we're supposed to do.
How do you think the offense has grown? Obviously, we've seen Joe really lead in that starting unit, but how do you think the whole offense has grown from birthday camp to now?
I think we've grown a lot. You know, a lot. People are a lot more confident within the playbook. You know, so once you know the playbook down, it's all about executing it, and I feel like everybody been doing a great job with that.
And how was this offense different from last year, you would say?
Ain't not too much different, Coach just added a little his tweets in there. Nothing changed for real.
I know in the spring when we asked you about that Amari quote with him saying that when Joe throws the ball, it's like poetry in motion. You read really quickly. I guess how have you grown even more to like the way he throws the ball and that chemistry that you guys have?
Just having the consistency throughout camp and mini camp to be able to work with him. Just understanding each other a lot better. Knowing where he want me to be at in certain times and knowing how he like throwing certain football. So it been going well.
How's your connection with Joe improved just over the last couple of weeks as you've gotten a lot more consistent reps with him?
Yeah, it's been growing. We've been coming out here working each and every day. The reps will matter. We've been having consistent reps and, just taking advantage of that.
There seem to be a lot of completions today and touchdowns in these drills. Do you think for quarterback competition and you guys have overcome it and growing as a unit?
Yeah, I think, as the unit, as a receiver group, we can't really too much focus on the quarterback competition, but just focus on our job, our execution, and making the job easier for whichever quarterbacks in the backfield. So, we just do what we're supposed to do, and that's get open.
Hey, Jerry, what are those one-on-one battles with Denzel like? And then it looked like you got him in the end zone on that out route. So what's it like going against him?
Denzel, the top corner in the league, so it's always fun to go against him. He makes me better, I make him better. That's all you can ask for. Coming out here and practice each and every day against each other just to make sure the Sundays are easier because there ain't nobody going to be like Denzel on Sundays. So,
Jerry, a lot of prognosticators think the Browns are not going to be very good this year. The over-under is 5.5 games. What makes you think they're going to be better than that?
I know the group of guys we got on this team, and I know the coaching staff been doing a great job and just making sure everybody in the right position to make plays, and I just feel like that's all we could think of. I know the group of guys we got, and we can't really focus on what too much the people that's not in the building think, so ain't really too much worried about that.
Jerry, can you talk about what did you think of Shador's performance the other night, and how have you seen him come along right out of this game?
No, Shador, he did a great job the other night. Saying completion, moving the ball down the field, scoring touchdowns. That's all you can ask for a quarterback. He constantly growing each and every day, learning the offense, learning the scheme. And I'm excited for him. He got a bright future ahead of him.
As someone who worked a lot with Luke Floria, how disappointing is it to see him have this hamstring injury kind of segment?
Yeah, that sucks, man. Luke been out here grinding and doing his thing ever since he stepped foot out here. So it kind of frustrating, him dealing with that. But Luke's a baller, so he gonna attack this workout, make sure he come back healthy and do his thing.
Jerry, have you played catch with Shador very much at all? And are you looking forward to maybe getting some reps with him at some point? And if so, he talks about throwing like a really nice catchable ball the way that Joe does too. Have you caught passes from him, and is it super catchable?
Yeah, we throw the ball a little bit around for a little bit. He got a great arm. I could see it out there, even with catching with him. Throwing it to other guys. He's a baller. He definitely got one of the top arms for sure.
Jerry, how have you seen just Deontay get more and more comfortable since he's been here? Obviously, trying to sort of have a bounce back season after how last year went for him, but how has he kind of just grown since he's been here since the
He grown a lot, understanding the playbook, just having consistency out here with the guys, and just getting more comfortable in learning the scheme of things. So, he's been doing a great job of that, and he constantly working to work towards that to be better than he was the day before. So, that's all he could ask for, all he could do.
Jerry, how important do you think it is for you guys to kind of maybe even after this Philly trip know who your starting quarterback is so you can really rep it and get ready for that season?
I'm really ain't focused too much on that. We just focus on this Philly trip right now. Then we'll let the coaches make the decision after that, and we just go on from there.
When you have guys like Luke and Gage, how do you help them make this transition to the NFL?
Those guys are very talented, very smart. guys that know how to get open, know what the offense and what the coaches want in the scheme. So don't really need to learn too much because they already know what they need to know. I just whatever they ask me, what they need help on, I just relay the message, and hopefully they get it from there.
Jerry, in what areas have you seen Dylan and Shedeur during camp?
Just understanding the playbook, knowing all the moving parts, motion, shifts, and knowing where to go with the ball. So that's all the quarterback can do for real.
Jerry, I think what I'm saying is that the defense usually starts ahead of the offense. When that happens, when the defense gets an early jump on an offense during a training camp, why is that? Why does offense take
say that
longer
again?
to gel?
Say that again?
The old saying is that the defense is usually ahead of the offense at the start of the training camp.
Yeah.
Why does offense take a little longer to gel in that way?
I feel like offense, you got a lot more pieces that you got to connect for real. When it comes to the line, the receivers, the motion. I think our play calling is just a lot more. I think that's why.
How do you know when it's starting to gel?
You could just tell how we move the ball, completions, not really a lot of mental assignments. I think that's the only way you could tell for real.
Jerry, I know you said you're not thinking about it like very much on your own or as a group, but has Kevin indicated to you guys when he wants to have a decision made about it?
You said what?
Has Kevin indicated to you guys when he wants to have a decision made about who's going to start?
Not yet. Not yet.
Jerry, those two.
We're going to take two more.
Those two touchdown passes by Shedeur. I'm sure you got a chance to watch the film or at least see highlights or whatever over a few times. What did you just think about the just accuracy and the touch on those passes?
Like I said, Shedeur got a great arm. Very accurate. He threw two great accurate balls. And the last one was he went through all his progression. It was the last read, and for him as a young quarterback be able to make those reads, make that progression. Kudos to him. Like I said, he's a great quarterback. I'm excited for his future.
Jerry, just thinking about your year last year, first Pro Bowl, first 1,000-yard season, as we get closer to actual games here, and what are you thinking about in terms of your personal goals to top what you did last year, and do you think about those more as we get closer to the season? Just your thought process.
No, I just want to be a better player than I was last year. Whether that's one more yard, one more catch, one more touchdown, just be better than I was last year. And I didn't really focus too much on my personal stats. I focus one game at a time, and hopefully I get to where I need to get at by the end of the season.
And he has looked spectacular all the way throughout camp. We anticipate that continuing this week over in Philadelphia. Coming up next, Training Camp Insider. Z, Bernie, Carson Swessinger. You have that to look forward to, which is nice. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. It's presented by Ballybet Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly. All right, now here's a real treat for you. This is Training Camp Insider Z, Bernie, and Carson Swessinger. Let's have a listen.
Welcome into Training Camp Insider, presented by Gregory Industries. Nathan Segura alongside the Browns legend, Bernie Kosar. And Bernie, all the eyes of the football world were.
All right, now here's a real treat for you. This is Training Camp Insider Z, Bernie.
38 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, added 19 yards rushing, finished the quarterback rating over in this one. So from one quarterback. Welcome into Training Camp Insider, presented by Gregory Industries. Nathan Segura alongside football world.
All right, now here's a real treat for you. This is Training Camp Insider Z, Bernie.
One game in particular,
2 touchdowns, no interceptions, added 19 yards rushing, finished the quarterback rating over
transition of
in this one. So from one quarterback. Welcome into Training Camp Insider, presented by Gregory Industries. Nathan Segura alongside
off air and before draft was how calm Shedeur is with his feet and
football world.
Bernie. One game in particular. Execute throws down the field with the second and third reads. It was beautiful to watch.
Yeah, poise. The moment was not too big for him. This is a guy who's
absolutely not too big for him.
No, he's been the spotlight his whole life. He goes out there. Let's go through a couple of plays that I wanted to get your opinion on. The first would be his first touchdown, rolling to the left. And I'm telling you, when you say that was a tight window throw, he had about enough space for the football to get through, layered over that corner who dropped off, and in front of the safety cover and Caden Davis. Just an absolutely beautiful ball.
I think if you want to epitomize an awesome night, look at both those touchdowns. And the first one that you're referring to, you're right, rolling left, showing athleticism. Most right-handed quarterbacks don't want to roll left and then make a tight window throw across your body within the red zone like that. And that is what we've liked about Shedeur, the layered throw over the corner, but with enough sauce to drop it down before the back pylon, before the safety got over. Of course, perfect because of the outcome.
And then the second one I thought showed kind of some high-level quarterback plays. Got a free runner over there. Amani Marshall gets over, gets just enough of him, but he slides to the right, kind of a veteran move there, resets his feet, and then throws it low into the inside where only Caden Davis could get it for his second touchdown. But I thought that was a veteran quarterback play.
Yeah, this one I'd love to have up on the telestrator here. This was awesome on 10 different ways, and this is quarterbacking at the elite level on about 8 to 10 different nice things with it. And as we're just sitting here trying to reflect back on it, 1, in the red zone, 2, seeing man coverage and being able to look left and what you should be doing against man, look for that kind of bow out that was going out to the back pylon. It's covered to reset his feet and then shuffle, keeping his head up, not panicking, dropping his head. Young quarterbacks. Look at how Shedeur kept his head up, didn't panic and drop it. And then when he shuffled and set, he didn't run. And then to set like that and throw a bullet on time, 4-6, he belongs in the NFL, and we're blessed right now to be watching that.
Yeah, that was a very, very good play there. And even when you go back, when he was mic'd up, Kenny Pickett goes, way to get back to that read, to stick with that play, and gets Caden Davis. He also had a great throw out of the end zone, 3rd and long, 2 guys bearing down on him, backed up in his own end to Gage Larvidan on an inward breaking route that was 30 yards in the air on a rope. Any questions about his arm strength were certainly answered, I think, in this game.
Yeah, arm strength, we've been out here. We're blessed to be out here in practice and see that consistently and daily his arm strength is more than good enough for NFL throws. And it transitioned to the game, and it transitioned actually better in the game.
It sure did, and then he had a beautiful touch on one to Luke Flory, who made a great one-handed catch. Unfortunately, hurt his hamstring. Browns had to waive Floria today with an injury designation, but I know there's a lot of hope that he will be back here and on the practice squad this season. This is a little thing. This won't show up in the box score as a big play, but when the Browns went on their 3rd scoring drive, and by the way, great complimentary football. You get a punt return where they muff it, you recover it, boom, touchdown. Nick Needham gets a great interception off Andy Dalton, boom, you go down, you score again. But on that one, on 2nd down, Shedeur Sanders, maybe earlier in the game, may have tried to run or spin out, but there was a lot of pressure. What he wanted wasn't there, but he stayed calm and took the check down to Travion Williams in the flat. Now, again, it doesn't seem like a big play, but that picked up 5 yards. That got him down to the goal line so that they could run the ball in with Gage Larvidan on that jet sweep. But that, to me, was, again, subtle, and you saw as the game evolved, him learning and making the smart play.
Subtle, excellent point there. To take a play that could have been 2nd and 20 or 2nd and 17 and turn it into 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 5, and that was a wide, and that was as a wide swing type check down. In the play action game, I think we'll see more of that for Shedeur, and I think this is going to help him evolve to keep doing more of that. And again, we'll be the beneficiaries of that because that's an addition to his game. And I think that's going to, give him some escapability on plays that were negative in college. A play on like the 4th down that was negative where he kept retreating back. Those will end up not part of his system because he's going to see now what to do in those situations.
Absolutely. As you look at that, and again, a great job from Shedeur Sanders. Thought handled the operation well. We didn't really have penalties till the 3rd string line came in, and a couple of those guys jumped prematurely, but good job. They're really a good showing overall. 30-10, the Browns go out and win. The depth of this football team. It was great to see Alex Wright back. He gets a sack. Aiden Huntington gets a sack. Julian Aquara, who's been a wrecker out here all training camp, he gets 2 sacks. And then really the Browns took care of the football. No giveaways in this game. 2 takeaways. Just overall a very solid performance.
A phenomenally solid performance. And the phrase that, Nathan, you're saying that we've used a little bit through the year, and I really buy into it in the spirit of Marty Schottenheimer, complementary football. Yep. And it's so needed. I've matured as I've aged, and this is something that is absolutely a core component of what will be successful in the NFL. And Cleveland right now is doing that. And we saw it Friday night.
We certainly did. Strong showing Friday night, and this team picked up right where it left off today, especially on the offensive side today. Kenny Pickett was out there in 7-on-7, still limited. Dillon Gabriel did get some teamwork. Joe Flacco working with the 1, Shedeur with the 2s in those team periods. And let me tell you something. The offense was putting points on the board today. Njoku touchdown, Judy touchdowns, Gage Larvidan touchdown, Dillon. Kenny Pickett had 3 straight touchdowns in that low red zone area. It was great to see. And then they get into 1-minute drill where you got to get down. The Browns' 1 defense did stop Joe Flacco on the 1 offense, but Shedeur Sanders, boom, 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 3 completions to set up a game-winning field goal. Just a great day for this Browns offense.
Today's practice, the momentum that we continue with, and what Nathan's pointing out, we saw a lot of 12 and 13 personnel. 13 personnel in the red zone today, and that gives me even more amplify my excitement for the season and for the team, because we're going to be able to be physical running the ball with Conklin and DeJuan Jones and those 3 tight ends. Harold Fannon's doing phenomenal. We're seeing that we're going to be able to physical with them. And the creativity that Coach Stefanski, Coach Reeves have come up with the way they're throwing the ball in the red zone. It was a dominant offensive performance today.
If you wanted to see the scoreboard lit up, today was the day for you. But the defense had its moments as well. And going back to that preseason game, we talked about Shedeur. Well, a couple of the other rookies, Mason Graham, he really stood out, generating pressures, running through double teams. And then Carson Swessinger, the 33rd pick in this draft, 13 snaps, 6 tackles, 4 of them solo. Last year at UCLA, he led the nation in solo tackles. He was an absolute magnet. Got a chance to talk with him after practice today. Take a listen.
What a great day. A little hot here out at Browns training camp, and super honored to be here with Carson. Carson, I got to ask you now, how do you feel after your first game, getting a taste of live action Friday night?
Oh, I feel great. I think now I just want more. That's all I want, really, is to go back out and keep playing.
You know, when I watched it the other day and I see the game, and I've been watching this through training camp, and for the fans out there and, for yourself, I'm going to absolutely show my age, so I apologize for it. But the end of my career was with Jimmy Johnson, and he was so focused on defense, stopping the running game, and so believed from the inside out with speed. And he drafted Tim Bowens in the first round, and you get a big defensive tackle. And to see what we did with the defensive tackle in the first round, and then he took Zach Thomas later in the draft, and it didn't seem like the sexiest pick. And Zach Thomas now has a home in Canton, right down the street. So when I watch you play, I'm not saying this to be a suck up and to put over pressure on you with the fans and at the start of your career. But wow, do I see a similarity to Tim Bowens and Zach Thomas, and for you to to be in that type of energy level. Do you emulate your game after anybody?
Yeah, I appreciate that, first of all, and I think it makes it a lot easier when you're playing behind the D-line we got and we have the secondary we have. Teams want to try and run the ball, and when you have that D-line, it makes it easy to find the ball behind it. And I think I'm always trying to take bits and pieces from people. One of the backers that was more when I was growing up was Kuechly, and just how he played the game, how he prepared, and then also when he was on the field, just always at the ball, always doing things like that is stuff I try to emulate.
From an old quarterback perspective, looking at you here and all the compliments I just gave, I couldn't help if I was a quarterback game planning, knowing you're a rookie, and it would be my job to kind of pick you apart, isolate you, and work on you in the course of the game. So the league keeps working like that. You know you're going to be the focal point. You know you're getting a ton of reps and playing. How do you embrace that type of challenge?
I think, like you said, just embrace it and go out there and be ready for it. But really, it's the preparation that's going to come into it, and going into the game, having all the answers and being prepared for what I'm going to get, and knowing what I'm going to get is going to allow me to keep playing fast and keep playing physical.
Hey, from the Mike middle linebacker perspective, Mac linebacker perspective, I like to kind of ask linebackers, because a lot of times linebackers should be asking me, but they typically don't, as to what's the quarterback looking at when I'm staring dead square into your eyes or looking past you, but really I still see every movement you're making, and how to kind of manipulate coverage and manipulate your thought process with eye contact, and even trying to create confidence or fear, comes across in eye contact. Do you look at that? Do you look at your opposing quarterbacks and try to gauge them as the course of the game goes on?
Yeah, I think it's almost the reverse for us is, like you said, you're either looking at the mic or looking at the guys behind us trying to see what's going on, and we're the same way. We're looking at the quarterback, looking at the back, seeing what the line's doing, so kind of getting all the pieces you can to really determine what the play is, even pre-snap formation and motions and things like that, and then also just knowing the defense we're in and what look the offense is giving us, and so what they think is going to work, whether we're in a 2 high or a 1 high, and knowing what possible checks they could have off of that and why they would check it. And I think knowing all that pre-snap really helps to play fast.
Well, for the fans out there, I sense that from watching you and stuff, and for people out there, it's a great gift. It's somewhat of an innate skill to be able to peripherally look around, look up, and just like our quarterbacks, I'm looking, I see the camera, but I'm looking above it and stuff, and you see everything going around. It's the same with you as the middle linebacker, and for a rookie, to have it's a 320-pound offensive guard coming at you, now with more 2 back, than to have an H and a 250-pound fullback leading up in you, 2 tackle, a 210-pound running back. That's a big challenge on any human, let alone a rook. So it was impressive to see you have that nose for the ball, that sense of how to, not just be there, but then when you're there, do something about it. I mean, it's 4 solo tackles, 6 tackles in 13 plays. How's your body after something like that?
I feel great. I'm still young. I think some of the older guys probably have different views on that, but I'm still pretty fresh. So hopefully,
it's impressive to see. It's impressive to see how you're playing, how you embrace it, and when you couple the athleticism, with the instincts and the mental preparation, you can see why we got a UCLA bioengineering major here. Yeah. Love it. Congrats to you.
Thank you.
I say this a lot to everybody. I say you matter, not because I went to the University of Miami, but I've watched you also through camp. Not only is your effort and focus awesome on the field, you went massively out of your way in the tired situations for the fans. There were so many cool fans out there. And your attention to the Browns and the Dog Pound fans was awesome, but your extra kind of attention to younger people and the kids, they really look up to you. And I tell people, for all of us, you matter, because it's important for us, for self-confidence and self-esteem. And even guys like us that are supposedly cool, played in sports, sometimes our self-confidence and self-esteem's not there. And when you're playing middle linebacker in the NFL, you need to have some self-confidence and self-esteem. So you matter, brother.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
What a great kid, and he's going to have to be the quarterback of this defense, and certainly all reports from his linebacker coach Jason Tarver, from head coach Kevin Stefanski, are that this kid is up to the task, very smart, and just He's a big guy.
He's a fantastic young man. I mean, a big guy, a smart guy, an instinctive guy, and he's here for me talking with him. To see the him as a person off the field's one thing, but just on the field's flat out impressive. So for us Browns fans, I love this combination coming in front of us with Mason Graham and Carson Schlesinger.
You always talk about that symbiotic relationship between the good guys on the interior of the defensive line and the Mike linebacker behind him. You saw it back in Miami. Well, guess what? You can see how impressive he is on the field, but let's hear what that sounds like. We had Carson Schlesinger mic'd up.
Where's the football? I think my head's uneven. Top of the morning. Yeah, that'll do it.
This one. I didn't know that was for me. I swear.
It's okay.
I thought, it was.
Here we go, baby. I get it. You could look like a clap, even
it's
though
like right here, and I'm like, palm left, ready?
I'm good here.
You don't watch film.
Watch this. Gee, it's another good day. Captain America. So I woke up this morning, looked outside. What do you think? That'll do it. I'd say that does the trick.
All you gotta do is just go around and talking to people.
I don't talk to people. Oh yeah. I'm always fired up. I knew the first song today. No. Oh.
Good catch. Put it away. Way to go.
Right. Nah, it don't matter.
Nice job, Harold Cannon.
Yeah, Harold Cannon.
First and last is crazy. What's full name?
Yeah, but you can't. I don't think you could just go Harold.
Who else is named Harold?
Just, nice job, Harold.
Sounds like an old person. That is. That's exactly what.
So, nice job, Harold Fannin. Hey, let's go. Hey, here we go. Hey, we got our bread and butter. Let's keep the foot down. Yeah, moon. Scoop. What's a Rolodex?
Hey, watch the sideline. Sideline. Rolodex, you talking to?
Somebody just said Rolodex, and I always hear it. You never know.
Oh, no, that's my dog Cam. I root for my dog Cam.
So Rolodex is where in the old days.
Hey, I didn't see you out there, Cam.
You kept your addresses and contacts in there.
Like the phone, but
you had to roll them and you just pick it'd be like note cards, in a way. So
I'm
it's
happy
old
we
school.
don't have those.
Yeah, but you don't have those. Yeah. No, I'm old enough to have had a Rolodex. You guys just have your cell phones. That's your Rolodex. Rolodex in your pocket. All right. Have a good day.
Yes, sir. How you guys doing? Hey, this is what we live for, running and hitting.
Exactly.
I got a lot of magic.
Never mind. Finish in the pile, get the ball like Carson did and Mood did. You don't have one yet? Oh my God. Maybe they'll put that on the mic up.
Browns fans are going to absolutely love Carson Schlesinger flying around, talking physical, all of that. So, all right, Bernie, through week one of the preseason, tomorrow the Browns are going to board a plane. We're going to head to Philadelphia to take on the defending Super Bowl champions. It's going to be 2 days of joint practices, Wednesday and Thursday there. A lot of work for the Browns starters there. Friday will be off. Game on Saturday, that'll be a lot of the 2s and 3s again, as we saw down in Carolina. And guess what? Training Camp Insider, we're going to give you all the action from Philadelphia. We'll be back on Thursday giving you kind of a synopsis of the prior 2 days of those joint practices. And then also Thursday night, 8 o'clock on News 5, it's the Training Camp Preview Special. So a lot coming your way, but Bernie, this is a big week. You're going to take on the defending Super Bowl champions. You want a measuring stick. You want to know where this team is at headed in the regular season. We're going to find out a lot next week.
Yeah, absolutely. The measuring stick, and even in particular, maybe a niche within that is Philadelphia is really known for the awesome defensive line, awesome offensive line. We've been super proud and effective the depth of our defensive line. We're now going up against the Super Bowl champs who have the premier defensive line and depth, except they don't have Myles Garrett. So it'll be, again, a big test of physical football for our offensive line. And I think this is the type of stuff that's, albeit may not be pretty Wednesday and Thursday, may not be pretty Saturday afternoon. I believe this is the stuff for the calluses that we've been talking about through training camp that's going to toughen us up to be that physical run, play action team, complementary football we need to be in September starting out the season.
Yeah, and I think if you can go to Philadelphia and you can hang with the defending Super Bowl champions, you're going to get a lot of confidence coming out of that. I thought we went to Carolina, we dominated them in the joint practice, dominated them on the field 30-10. Now you want to go and just beat. Let's get to that level. If we win, bonus.
Let's be physical. We showed that, again, I'm not trying to be funny, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Carolina, but we showed we are massively bigger and more physical than the Carolina Panthers. Now we're playing the Super Bowl champs. Of anything we could show we physically belong and take that as a challenge, because that is the barometer for an NFL season, who you are.
So a lot of fun. Again, Training Camp Insider will be back on Thursday with a look at the 2 joint practices Wednesday and Thursday, and then the Training Camp Preview Show edition of Browns Countdown, 8 o'clock on News 5 this Thursday night as well. Great week in Charlotte. Let's have a great week in Philadelphia. For Bernie Kosar, I'm Nathan Segura saying thanks for watching Training Camp Insider presented by Gregory Industries.
All right, there you go. Tomorrow, what does it look like against the defending champs? Z will be here to tell us right at 1 o'clock. The next level is coming up next. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.